Hi, Jackie. My name is Greg, and I spoke to you early today, Monday, and I told you that I would send you a video that looked at your website and showed you why you weren't getting as much Google traffic as your competitors and what you would need to do to get more of that traffic in to turn into customers. Before we get into the details, I'm just going to give you a quick snapshot here. So this is a tool looking at the back end of your website. You currently get average 50 visitors to your website a month, whereas one of your competitors there in Santa Cruz, Lighthouse, gets you know 3, almost 4 times that. So I want to show you how to achieve this number. Okay, so I'm going to look at your website and I'm going to give you some suggestions. By way of overview, it's really for me all about beating your competitors to the top of Google search. So if you're not on the first page of Google, in the maps here, and in the first 3 or 4 of the first listings on the first page of Google, you're missing out on over 80–90% of all the traffic. Okay, so the suggestions I'm going to give you in order to get yourself up into these top spots are grounded on 3 main areas. Content, that is the quality and quantity of the words and images in your website. Backlinks, this is Google's popularity contest. The more websites that you are linked to, the more Google trusts you, as long as they trust those websites too. And citations, this is the number of times your business name, address, and phone number are mentioned on online directories, both local and national. These 3 things together allow Google to assume of you that you have authority in your sphere of business. It allows Google to trust you and allows Google to assume that you have relevance in this area. Now, Google cares very much about their customers' experience and will not put onto the first page of any search results a website that they do not trust or they do not think is relevant. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at content. So here I am looking at your website. And when we talk about content, and by the way, it's a nice looking website. When we talk about content, we talk about 2 things: quality and quantity. Let's address quantity first. So quantity really is just the sheer number of words written into your website. The rule of thumb generally is that on the home page here, the first page that any potential customer lands on, should have around 1,500 words. Okay, and that every service page in the background has at least 500 words. Okay, here's a quick count. Throughout your website, Sandman Glass Inc., there are only 1,600 words. Okay, 1,600 words. So I'm estimating that you are short of about 5,000 words. Now, the reason why quantity is important is because in Google's eyes, they make some assumptions. They assume that if you're able to write in volume about your services, that you must be an authority in your services. Okay, so it gives them some sense that you know what you're talking about. Okay, the second thing is that from a relevance point of view, they assume that if you've written all these words, that the answers that their customers are looking for must be somewhere in the words that you've written. So they make some assumptions and they assume that you are authoritative and relevant, and it helps them push you up in rankings. The second thing, and a very important thing, is quality. Quality refers to the words that you choose to write into your site. Okay, and those words are, for example, Windows Santa Cruz. This is what we call a keyword phrase. It's a keyword phrase because it is exactly what a potential customer searches for in Google to possibly find your business. Okay, now when we talk about quality, what is important is making sure that as many of this type of keyword speaking to your services and the locations that you operate in are written into your content. Now, we would write these keywords in throughout your content in an organic fashion, in a way that makes sense to both Google and to your customers, because then it enables Google to make a match between a search like this and your content, because these words are contained in your content too. Now, let's go ahead and have a look at your website. Okay. I showed you this page before. You're getting on average 50 customers or so a month visiting you. Google has read your website and they understand what you're all about based on 37 keywords that they have indexed for you. And these are the keywords. Now, maybe not surprisingly, Santa Cruz Glass is up there, which is a good one. Sandman Glass, because it is your brand name. And for those top three, you're on the first page. For those top four, you're on the first page of Google here, position 3, position 1, right at the top, and position 4. However, you're missing out on a lot more. For example, window, Santa Cruz, 90 people a month searching for that. You're in the 10th spot. That's the bottom of the second page. No traffic there. Windows, Santa Cruz, 60 people a month searching for that. You're on the third page for that. Santa Cruz Windows, you're on the almost 4th page for that, and so on and so forth. So the strategy here should be that we find as many of this kind of keyword as possible. Windows, Santa Cruz, about 30 of them. We find ones with the highest amount of volume. This number here is the amount of searches per month, and the easiest ones to compete against, and we write these into your content. I'm going to give you an example of what Lighthouse has done. Now, they have almost 600 keywords. We don't need that many, by the way. We just need to pick the best ones. But let's have a look at the ones that they are ranking for. Okay, we've got some brand name here. But here, Windows Santa Cruz, they're on the first spot for that. Windows Santa Cruz. And doors, okay, glass shop. I don't know if that's so relevant. What I'm seeing here is that because they have so many words, Google has indexed them for so much that they are maybe not very well understood by Google as much as they could be. The strategy here is that we would pick, as I said, 20 of this kind of keyword, Windows Santa Cruz. Okay, we could also pick out residential glass Santa Cruz, or commercial glass services Santa Cruz, commercial glass replacement Santa Cruz, not just Santa Cruz, but also surrounding areas, Watsonville, Salinas, etc., etc. Pulling out all the various locations that you cover, and we write that into your content. Okay, that gives us a great opportunity to capture a lot more of the business that you don't currently have. You can see that window and door and window are at 176. Okay, so we've covered content there. Now I want to talk about backlinks. Backlinks is all about trust. Okay, and the definition of a backlink is the number of time, or the instance in which another website that is relevant to your business links back to your website. So as I mentioned, the internet is a web, and the more you participate in that web, the more you have an opportunity to be trusted by Google. As long as you are linked to websites that Google trusts, they by association trust you. Now, looking at your website here, these three numbers here are about this particular point. You have 90 separate links coming back to your website from 22 different referring domains. That's a website, giving your site a trust score. This DR score here is a trust score, a 6% trust score. So you have a 6% trust score in Google's eyes, which means that they somewhat trust you, but not very much. Compare this to, this is very interesting. Okay, and this actually is a great opportunity. You see how Door and Window have so many more backlinks than you, but they have a lower trust score. Now, the reason they're ranking higher than you is because they have more keywords. The opportunity that we have here is to get many more high quality backlinks than they have, really ramp your site's trust score, which is already slightly higher than Lighthouse, and really push that trust score up and gain a whole lot more of the rankability in Google to get this traffic. Okay, so that's backlinks. The last thing I wanted to mention to you are citations. A citation is the number of times, a citation is an instance when your business name, address, and phone number are mentioned anywhere on an online directory, yelp.com, bbb.org, Yellow Pages, etc., etc. What this does, it gives you an opportunity to win a spot right here, right at the top of search in the map area. The reason why this is good is because it's at the top. Secondly, most of your customers are searching using their mobile phones. That's what people do nowadays. And if they pulled up these listings on a mobile phone, they'll see a third button here that says call. They'd be able to call your business directly with one touch without having to scroll down, click into a listing, find a phone number, save the phone number, and call you. This is a very frictionless connection between a search directly through to your telephone. So that's why we want to win the maps. The way that we do this is we simply register your business name, address, and phone number from the get-go with over 200 directories, and it gets you a really strong possibility of getting right up here into the maps, and we can also win you a spot right here at the top of Google search. A great opportunity to win a lot more traffic than you currently get, 52, more like 3 or 4 times that at 176. So Jackie, without further ado, I'm going to send you this email. I hope that you find it useful. I'd love your feedback if you find it interesting, and if there's anything in here that you'd like to discuss further. I'm going to go ahead and send it to you, and I appreciate you watching my video. Thank you very much.